Hey, what is going on there YouTube? This is the Gaming Guy, and today I am bringing you to the full drop list for this week, which is week 8 of the full winter season. Now this week is going to be the accessory and beanie week. For me personally, that is how I will define it. There are a couple of pieces that are on my list, but there are also a couple that I'm going to avoid on purpose because I know I will have no chance at getting them. So it's probably going to be narrowed down to me going for 1 or 2 pieces overall this week. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this, and yeah, there's not much else to say, to be honest, so let's just get straight into this list. So yeah, let's just get straight into the list, and as you can see right next to me, my Palace week 1 item or package arrived, but I'll be saving it for like next week so that I can unbox like 4 or 5 things together and make a bit of a better video, to be honest. But let's kick off this list with the top item being the hanging lantern. On the side of likes, the second item, as you can see, actually has like double the amount of likes, but on the side of dislikes, this has a lot less dislike. For this piece, I'm quickly just going to throw you back to what I said when I first saw the lookbook, and when I first made a sort of my best items from this season through the lookbook or preview. Hanging lantern, okay, yeah. That's a good accessory as well, which I would love to get. I would definitely get rid of a couple of the lights that I picked up from previous seasons and get that. This is just a really cool piece. I would really want to get 2 of these to have like as a backdrop to like sit one and the other sort of thing, because personally I think they're just nice, and they're definitely going to be a highlight for me from the accessories tab. So now that we're past that, and my main reaction is that it is a cool piece, or was a cool piece, let's just go over it in general. So for me personally, I still think that this is a cool piece. I think that it is just great in like really basic terms to say. The branding is nice and simple. It's obviously the classic red and white. There's not much else to say. I think for me personally, it's just a perfect, simple accessory. And the retail prices or estimations that I've been seeing have been around $40. So hopefully that comes out to be like 25 to 35 pounds-ish. And if you can cop multiple, then hopefully I can pick up 2 of them. If not, I'll be satisfied just getting the single lantern. I've seen people also change their opinion from the other main accessory for this week to the lantern because they think it's more like feasible piece to pick up. Hopefully though that doesn't then make it sell out quite quickly or fast, because I still want to be able to get it. So yeah, next on the list is obviously going to be the blue burner phone. It's very easy to say, you know, it's a burner phone. There's not much to say about it. The retail is meant to be somewhere around $60, I believe it was, or that people said. To be honest, I think it is just going to fly, and that is why I'm going to be leaving it be, because I think I'd just take an L on it, to be honest. I just wouldn't be able to get it, and it wouldn't be fun for me to try for an item that I know in the back of my mind I would probably mess up at trying to go for. But obviously, red and black are the colourways that it's available in. I think the red is going to sell out first, then the black's going to sell out after that, but yeah, there isn't much else to say except for that. A lot of people want it. I've seen a lot of people ask for like in-store proxies or just in-store slots from people in general. I've seen people want pre-orders and all sorts of things for it. So yeah, I personally think that it is possibly going to flop after the fact, or after like the first week. But then it'll probably pick back up after that. I just think there's a lot of interest for it. And when some items get too much interest, they can sometimes just like crumble and crash. But yeah, the next piece is going to be the Mohair Beanie. To be honest, if I mess up on any item this week, I can just add another beanie to my collection. The colorways for this aren't too bad. I think that this blue or black or the natural are probably the standout colors. Apart from that, I do think that this more vibrant color is nice, and that the gray is also quite clean. But overall, I think that the black, like blue or light blue, and natural are the best colorways across from this piece. I don't know how a mohair piece actually feels like when you wear it, because I don't know whether that's going to be comfortable or whether it just looks like it's not going to be comfortable, but it's actually super comfortable sort of thing. But yeah, that is releasing. Next on the list is going to be the Gore-Tex Contrast Stitch Anorak. I've seen a lot of people want this or have interest in this. Personally, for me, it looks like a piece from either last season or the season before that we saw, where it was like a piping lined piece. But I think that people are probably going to go for it still. It is a nice piece nevertheless, and yeah, It's waterproof, obviously, and for the winter season, I'm sure people want a piece like this that is probably going to be quite easy to pick up because a lot of attention is focused around a lot of other pieces this week. I don't know what the retail price is going to be on this, but it'll probably be, I would hope to be like 168, 178 or something like that, but it could be a lot cheaper. But at the same time, it's Supreme, so I don't really trust my sort of estimations, or don't go by my like estimations because I wouldn't trust them. Next on the list we have the small box crew neck. These actually tend to sell out quite like quickly or quite averagely when they are released, because normally when people go for the other pieces and they mess up, they tend to go down the list or look down what else has released and pick something else up, and this could probably be one of those pieces that is picked up. Also, in case you couldn't tell, I've got like a cold cough coming on, so if I sound a bit like a frog, then that is why. But personally, the colourways for me that stand out of this are going to be the grey or the heather grey, the cream natural, and the purple / like violet looking colourway. They'll probably say it's something else. They might call it lavender. I bet they will call it lavender. If I'm spot on with that, I'll be happy. But yeah, those are the three colourways that I sort of see as the best ones out of this piece. We then have the Ballistic Nylon Camp Cap. For me, it looks a bit like what we've seen before. The colourway that will probably go might be the white or black or the chocolate camo, but to be honest, I don't really know. Last week I made a sort of bad guess with one of the pieces or one of the caps that was released, because I then realised after the fact that it would probably be a piece that people would want and they want to pick up because it reminds them of like Levi's or Levi's collaborations or pieces. So yeah, I don't know how this piece will do, but I'm not going to judge it until we see after the drop. Next up we have the logo stripe knit top. For me personally, I'm on the edge with this piece. We've obviously seen them doing like a sort of lining along the base, along like the shoulders, along everywhere. Now we're up above into nearly like the chest height for this stripe going across. Overall, I still don't know what to make of it, but the only colourway that I really sort of like in general is going to be the black colourway. I think it just looks nice, simple and clean in this piece. The other colourways aren't too bad, but for me, yeah, that's probably the only colourway that I'm okay with. Next up we have the Sequin Viper hoodie. I saw a lot of people wanting this piece and really interested in this piece. It is beaded, obviously these are actual beads that are on there to make out the Viper and everything, which will give it that sort of shine or like gleam look. Obviously it's a Viper, it says Supreme, it's a really cool layout for that, but it will probably have the normal sort of retail price, which is obvious. Personally, I think that this blue colourway or the heather grey are the best colourways across from it. Obviously the black normally tends to do quite well, or people tend to get that. But yeah, I like those two colourways. Overall, it's not really for me. I think I would have preferred it maybe on a tee, but that might be a bit too much work to put in just for a tee instead of for like a hoodie. But overall, I'm going to leave it be. I still think that the graphic is quite cool and the amount of detail in it is quite cool, but it's just not for me. We then have a university short sleeve top. I swear these also tend to sell out as well, like after the fact or after the drops happened. Some of these colorways just end up disappearing and selling out. Obviously, with it being a top, it's going to be a premium price of 68 to like £78. I probably think that this camo or chocolate camo or whatever colour camo is going to go, and then maybe one or two of the others will sell as well. But apart from that, it doesn't really do anything for me, and yeah. Now we're on to the pieces that aren't really that appreciated, and we will go through them like that. So starting off, it's going to be the striped hooded sweatshirt. This looks a lot like, or the front colourway looks a lot like the Denali colourway for like the Barney looking colour. That's what that reminds me of. It's got a classic Supreme logo which is embroidered. There isn't much to say about it. It looks quite, I don't know. I don't have a word for it except for yikes. I'm okay with the front colourway, but the other two I'm just not really a fan of. So we'll move ahead onto the reversible puffy work jacket. I was actually a fan of this sort of tribal looking design they're going for, like flame looking design. But overall, I'm not really a work jacket person. Obviously, it's reversible, which is cool, so you can switch to either side. That is really vibrant. But overall, it is just not for me in the end. And yeah, that's all I have to say. We then have the New York patch beanie. Obviously, New York City patch on a beanie. Job done. I'm guessing on the flip side, it's going to have Supreme embroidered like they normally do in just a small standard font. But Yeah, there isn't much to say about it. It'll probably sell out in a couple of the colorways just because I'm sure people will be buying this because it's got New York City on it, and yeah, currently it's not doing too well on the likes dislikes, but there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just a nice simple beanie, so yeah. We then have a Sharkskin Suit. Suits never really tend to do well with Supreme or with people. Some of them do sell out, some of them don't. I obviously bought like 2 years ago the Comme des Garçons one that they had, or that they released. I probably should have kept it because I have been on the look for it, but yeah, I'm not really a fan of this suit personally. I have seen some people wear the suits that Supreme put out, and yeah, they don't look that bad to be honest in the end, but this one just isn't for me. So moving on, we have the Velour football jersey. Velour pieces are hit or miss. I'm not really a Velour person. The colorways aren't like too bad on these, but they look like pajamas almost with the Velour. It just looks like a pajama top, but yeah, you've got almost like the Gucci colorway at the front. Overall, the colorways aren't terrible, but I'm just not a Velour like fan, so I'll leave it be. We then have a Chino Twill Gel S Logo 6 panel. Yeah, I'm just going to move ahead onto the final piece, which is a monogram shirt. God, I don't have a positive comment for this, unfortunately. I mean, it's in 3 colorways, so there's that, but yeah. So that is going to cover the list for this week. As always, let me know down below what item you're going to be going for, whether it's the lantern, the burner phone, the beanie, one of the crew necks, or the anoraks, or one of the pieces that are lower down on the list. There was a different beanie that I thought was meant to be released, but instead the patch beanie is being released in its place. Overall, for me, I will be trying for the lantern. If they release 2 of them, or if you can cart more than 1, then I'll be going for 2. If not, I'll get 1 of them. If I flop on that, I'll just pick up a standard beanie. And that is going to cover it. So if you enjoyed, like, be much appreciated. Other than that, if you'd like to, you can subscribe. We're like 800, I think, away from 10,000, which is insane. Because, yeah, 10,000's been my goal for a long time. So, yeah, I'd massively appreciate hitting that before Christmas. Or this side of, like, Christmas would be great. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for a live cop. And, yeah, that's it from me. I'll see you all next time. Peace.